And his new comedy special, there it is, A Killing in Chicago. Welcome to the show, Joe Bartnick. Joe,
thanks,
great to
Jimmy,
see you.
for having me. This is awesome.
So, Joe, you have one of my favorite jokes. Is it in the special? You know the joke I'm talking about? Hey, they say the Mexicans are coming.
Oh, no, that's new.
Oh, okay.
No.
You don't want to burn it? Don't burn it.
Don't burn it.
Burn it.
No, I can do it. It's it's in your alley. The pandemic is now just a reason for poor customer service.
Yes, yeah, definitely.
And I say that's a staffing issue, and I blame the Mexicans. They're supposed to be stealing our jobs. Well, where are they? Come on, Jose, andale, arriba.
So here, let me tell. I got a little short clip of your special. Let's listen. Now, you did this in Chicago, right?
Yes.
Okay, I know.
Your hometown.
My hometown, proud.
I love college basketball.
Uh-oh.
In the winter, it gets.
Here we go.
I love college basketball. But in the winter, it gets very confusing. ESPN, you start putting the women's scores on the ticker in pink. Sick of being half asleep on the couch. I wake up. Duke lost by 35. Oh, that's women's basketball. I guess I need a bigger TV so I can see the asterisk where it says it doesn't fucking matter.
That is so sexy.
They should put women's basketball on Facebook. Because it's just for their friends and family anyway.
This is so wrong. That is so wrong. I'm a big supporter of women's basketball, as is the rest of the country, which is why the stadiums are always empty.
Yes. It's empty seats.
That's hilarious.
It's just supported by the WNBA. I mean, the NBA just pays for the WNBA just to like subsidize it.
Do you think they do?
It's a tax write-off.
No kidding.
Absolutely.
I like to watch. Women's bodies aren't built for basketball because their center of gravity's in their hips, so that's why they can't jump as high as men. Put it that way.
Yeah, some of them can now. I mean, they're all like men.
Can
now.
they dunk?
I mean, the ones
now?
that play in the professional leagues, they're like men, dude.
Can they? Yeah, I'm sure that most of them could beat me. All of them probably.
Yeah, and yeah, a lot of them can. There's a couple guys.
Do they dunk?
There's a couple girls that can dunk now.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd like to see that.
I think the chick that was locked up in Russia can dunk. I think that's
really?
I think that's why we went to get her. I think if she couldn't dunk, if she was just a layup girl, it's like stay there. But no, they found one that can dunk. They got to save her.
What's her name? Grimes?
Brittany Grimer.
Brittany
right?
Grimer. Yeah.
She's the most famous WNBA player because she was in Russia.
See, weed does help your career.
It really does.
People need to. Let's watch another clip. We ready? So people can watch this on YouTube, right?
All Things Comedy's YouTube page. It's there. And if you can't find the link for some reason, joebartnick.com, the link is right there.
Joe, how long have we known each other?
I've been doing comedy 26 years, so probably 23 years, 22 years.
Oh, we met right. Oh, wow, good. So early on in your career. Okay.
You've always been one of my favorite comics. Your new stuff is amazing.
Oh, and
you're like the smartest. You literally are the smartest person I know. When Kurt left, I'm like, oh my god, now I'm really going to be I need Kurt to translate. Like, okay, can you put it into like regular person? And then the other lady out here, she's brilliant, and I'm like, oh my god, like she's like, what? She's naming names. I'm like, the only thing I know about politics is what Jimmy tweets. That's my scope of the real. That's my real world scope.
You could do worse. You could do worse.
100%. You're the other one that tells it like it is.
I appreciate you saying that.
How do you trust anybody else? I mean, seriously.
I don't.
I know you don't, but I know how anybody else does.
Let's watch this. This is all. So I just got back into the. Watch this.
I love Tagger, man. He's my favorite. Drunken whoremonger. I fucking love that guy. I love Tagger so much, I used to listen to golf on the radio. And people got so mad at him, like, how can he cheat on his wife? She's beautiful. She's gorgeous. She's an 11. That's exactly why he cheated on her. Because she's beautiful and gorgeous. You know, she just lays there in bed and doesn't move. She doesn't have to. She's beautiful. But Tagger's got $1 billion. He wants someone to lick his ass. like only someone who works in Applebee's can.
Yo, that was rough. People taking those jokes are hard. Let's keep it going. I'm loving this. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going.
If you're in a relationship and you're arguing and you don't have any kids, get the fuck out now. It is never getting any better. What are you arguing about? What's on TV? Me and my wife were together for 10 years before we had a kid. We only argued 5 times. 4 of them were all on the same canoeing trip. Apparently I was too fat to sit in the front and too lazy to sit in the back.
Joe, that's fucking hilarious. Nice job. You look good in there,
Thank
too.
you.
Jesus, nice shirt. Even the background is nice. I'm jealous. Looks good.
They all things comedy spared no expense. You got to see the beginning too. The beginning and the ending are sick. The beginning of the special and the end of the special.
Okay.
You'll love it.
Okay. Yeah, I just got back in town today. I'm going to check. I said, send it to me, please, so I can watch it. And then...
you were out of the country.
Yeah, I was out of the country.
What country were you in?
I was in Italy.
Oh, the best country.
Yeah. Have you ever been?
No, I've been to like 30 other ones. I've never been to the mothership.
It's the greatest.
It's got to be.
It is.
It's all Italians.
It is.
How can it be? How can that be the best country?
I got to tell you, those Italians know how to live.
We do.
They really know how to live.
Absolutely.
They all get 4 to 6 weeks vacation paid every year. They do that thing where they close. They still did the restaurants and the stuff they would close in the afternoon. I'm like, come on. And
you're like, come on.
But I would eat a pizza for breakfast because I wouldn't get up early enough for breakfast. And
I do that a lot too. But you know what I do is no, but I put a couple eggs on leftover pizza. It's the best.
Oh, okay.
Put it on the pan and crack a couple eggs on top.
I'll get myself a fresh pizza. It was great every morning. I did gain some weight. But it was fantastic. So you still put for Bill Burr sometimes, right?
Yes. I'll be with him in Reno in a month.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, Reno, all the hot spots.
Okay.
I work with Bill. You know, he produced my special. He likes me to be on my own a lot, and it's fun being on my own. It's also fun to work with Bill.
We were in a sushi restaurant in Pasadena. That's when we reconnected, right? All of a sudden I walk in and there's you and your wife. You're eating sushi. I'm like,
it was a miracle because I was so always reluctant to get sushi. But now that I get sushi with you, I mean, no one knows sushi like you. You actually moved next to this. You moved to the same street as sushi. That sushi is, I'm not going to name it because I'm going to be overrun.
Yeah.
It's that good. Your sushi thing was the equivalent of like me going to see the Grateful Dead. Like it changed my life. Like I never knew you could have sushi that's good. It was great. Now I eat sushi everywhere. It's not as good as yours, but it's still like I'm pro sushi.
I made the mistake of mentioning the name of that sushi place.
I heard it's
and then for like on a podcast, I was doing somebody's podcast that's pretty popular, and I mentioned I'm like, oh, this place is the greatest, and George Clooney goes there and stuff like that, right? So then for like a month or two, I would go in and it would just be packed with people who knew me, and usually it's empty, right?
Right, yeah,
because the guy's a bit of a sushi Nazi.
He is.
I tell a story about with Shatner. So I'm sitting there eating, and Shatner comes in. He starts eating, just us in the whole place. That's it. And so whenever he'd have a piece of fish, he'd look at me and go, "This is unbelievable." I go, "I know. This is the best fish in town."
I go, Rocket Man.
I go, "You've never been here before?" And he goes, "I was here once 30 years ago. He kicked me out." I'm like, that's what he does. Yeah,
that's like height of Shatner too. That's like Star Trek TJ Hooker Shatner.
Yeah,
that's not like insurance salesman Shatner. That's like you're kicking at TJ Hooker.
And then he said so then he goes, and I started going to Sushi Nozawa, and I go, he goes, he was the big, and I go, yeah, and he says, he goes, I went there once, and I go, how'd it go? He goes, he kicked me out.
So is that prevalent in the sushi community?
What did you do? Because I was just sitting there waiting for a friend, so I was reading the paper. If you're reading the paper at the sushi bar, I'm sure they don't enjoy that. And then he was asked to leave. Could you imagine that? These sushi guys, they really don't give a shit.
That's what I'm saying. That's a whole different. I've never heard of that.
I have. I've seen them kick people out.
Yeah. It's just funny. Just get out. We don't need your money. I love when people don't need you. That's always a great feeling.
Yeah.
No.
They're not needy. Yeah. They don't. Yeah.
No, we don't need you.
But I'm glad I got to share that sushi with you and your wife.
Oh my God, it's the best. Yeah. It really is. But yeah, I do enjoy sushi a lot. Like I enjoy it now. But that was the peak. That was the pinnacle.
How long have you been married?
Oh, 21 years, 22 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Joe.
These are the hard-hitting questions on the Jimmy Dore Show.
Come on. You seem happy.
I am happy.
Yeah. How long? 20 years?
No.
What kind of a response is that?
Me and my wife are getting along good. It goes in waves.
Yeah, it goes in waves. Ask Steph.
It goes in waves.
Ask Steph. She'll tell you.
I like how Steph took her glasses off, so I don't have a black eye.
It does go. She's no shrinking violet, people think. Anyway, she can hold her own, believe me.
Yeah, but I think we all want a little spicy women, you know? If a woman's a pushover completely, like, what's that?
That's why I went Mexican.
Yeah.
Like a little spicy number.
A plate thrower back in the day. That's what they call them.
Plate thrower.
Plate chucker.
So you're originally from Pittsburgh.
I'm originally from Pittsburgh.
Where they also say jag off.
Yeah. It's like a battle of who said jag off first, Chicago or Pittsburgh.
I'm going to say Chicago. I didn't know Pittsburgh.
I honestly thought that Pittsburgh was the only place that ever said jag off.
I got it on a mug.
I know. Is that from Pittsburgh though?
No, it's from Jimmy.
No, because there's a big famous thing. It's the jag off. He's like a famous guy in Pittsburgh. I know him. I've been on his show. He's on the radio. It's a whole big deal. The jag off.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the jag off. Yeah, it's a big deal.
Is that new?
Mike Chamberlain. Yeah, like 10 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. I didn't start saying jag off until, I always said it my whole life.
Right.
But on the show.
Well, jag off's a fun word because it's kind of like you can say it anywhere and it's not really a bad thing.
You can say it
everyone knows you mean that you're an F.A., you know.
You can do, you could say jag off on the radio. You could say jag off on TV.
Right.
And that's what I liked about it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
now,
like you're
in
swearing,
Chicago, do they have jaggers?
What do you mean?
Whatever, like if you're like in the woods or in the park and you get like they're like they scratch you, plants that have scratchings.
Oh, you call them jaggers?
Yeah, jaggers. So maybe that Pittsburgh is the first jag off because
maybe.
we have jaggers.
Maybe.
And Donnie Iris's band used to be called the Jaggers. You know Donnie Iris, Donnie, Aaliyah, Pittsburgh.
I don't know anybody. I'm withdrawing from marijuana.
I know I can't even believe it's been 2 weeks.
Joe, have you ever quit smoking pot?
Just for like a little bit. I mean, like 2 weeks is about the maximum you can get.
This is
and
rough.
then you just leave because you're awake the whole time because you have nothing holding you back. You're like, oh, I'm awake. I can't relax. I'm not high. I don't know what to do.
I go through waves of exhaustion, and I'm like, but I still can't sleep. It's the worst.
That's why I always could never quit weed completely because I needed to fall asleep after a couple of days. And then I needed to drive. I used to need it to drive because I've been in a couple of wrecks and I just need to be high or else I get too paranoid. But the thing is, I mean, the beauty of me is I'm a stoner, but I'm also a drunk. So, so I'm a two-sport athlete. So, I mean, it just means I'm drinking more if I'm not getting stoned. Mm-hmm. That's all it means.
Yeah, I noticed that if I'm not smoking pot, I will. That's not good.
Smoking pot is probably a little bit healthier for you in the big picture.
I think it's like it's medicine for sure. Yeah. That's what I would tell people.
Well, nothing makes me feel more at home though than like 3 to 5 regular American beers.
Really?
Yeah, no matter how I'm feeling, if I have like 4 Bud Lights, like that's my natural state of being. Like I'm okay. Like headache, backache, stomach ache. Oh, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. You wake up, I don't feel good. hey, give me like 3 or 4 cold ones. Like, yeah, I feel normal now. Okay, I can do anything.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I can't.
You know me for 20 years, Jimmy. You know I like to have a couple pops.
I know. Sure. I know you.
I think Jimmy has the best. Jimmy brings his own Manhattan or no.
He used to do martinis and now Negronis.
I used to do the martinis, but then I got into Negronis during COVID.
Yes.
And
yes.
So when I would go to Italy, I would say, "Hey, can I get a Negroni? Could you shake it?" And they were always like, "What?" There was like,
you're like stupid American.
Like and then finally, the guy says, "What's your name? What's your last name?" And I said, "Dore." He said, "Okay, it'll be Negroni Dore from now on." So whenever I would get one, I'll have a Negroni Dore, and then they would shake. You could hear them shake it, and that's the only way to drink a Negroni. It takes otherwise it tastes too medicine-y.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope.
You do make some good ones, though.
I hope you know.
I've had a couple. You bring your own kit. To your shows. That's great.
You got to take care of yourself, Joe. No one else is going to do it.
Hey, absolutely. Absolutely.
Especially when it comes to Negronis.
Yeah. You always got to have, I always have to make, that's why all my riders with Lampanelli, I get my bottle of Crown. And then Kenny knows, always have a 6-pack. Like, you got to make sure you got your booze. No matter what. I don't need it. Like, if something happens,
no.
But it's nice to have.
You don't need it.
It's nice to have.
No, never need it.
No, really.
I'm sitting here going through withdrawal from fucking marijuana. It's crazy. Well, you would never think that's real.
You know what's funny too, though. I find if I get really baked, like 2 days later, I'm depressed. Does that happen to you? Like, just like if I'm having a really good time on marijuana, I'm not drinking because it's kind of like an everyday thing. Yeah. But it's like if I get really baked and have like a great day, like 2 days later, I will be depressed.
Really?
And I think it's the weed. Yeah, I really do. Weed's turned on me like 2 or 3 times completely, but I've fought back.
How?
Keep smoking it.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
I'm a fighter, Jimmy.
How did I used to get high before I went on stage for a while, and it helped me a lot. It helped me.
Really?
Oh yeah, it helped me. Well, I started. It's a long story, but it really helped me become a better performer. I was very stiff, and I kept the mic in the stand, and I was, like a Dennis Miller type thing, and I was trying to do that kind of comedy, and but when I smoked one time and I went on stage, it totally opened up everything for me, and then it got to a point. It was like maybe 5 or 6 years, but then I got to a point where it didn't help me anymore, and I didn't need it to get to that place.
Right.
So now when I'm on stage, I'm like, I don't need weed to be there. And then it just made me forget shit. So now I don't. And then it made me nervous.
Yeah, you get that little. I just feel like I'm forgetting stuff. I honestly feel like I'm already dumb enough. Just in general, like, do I really need to get? It's like sometimes I'll come home like, am I going to smoke a little weed before I watch like the Untouchables or Kojak or whatever? And I'm like, I think I can just watch the show and have a beer and like I think I've killed enough brain cells. I think I've done my damage.
Yeah, so I don't think I've smoked pot before I went on stage for probably 10 years.
I'm interested in this. I used to be I used to walk around and then you remember John Alston, the Buddha? One time I just never took the stand and I had a great set. He goes, just do that all the time. So then for a few years I never took the mic out of the stand.
Oh, really?
And then I started with Lampanelli and stuff. I play bigger venues. It's like, I got to walk around a little. I got to create this faux energy. But anytime nowadays, or I just keep the mic in the stand, I seem to have incredible sets.
Really?
It's almost like it's freeing. Maybe because I'm Italian, I talk with my arms more naturally than like, hey, look, you can't hear me because the mic's over here. I won't ruin the podcast. But you know what I mean? It's like that. So I was wondering, like, I don't know. I think it's almost better to not have the mic, to not have to hold the mic, to kind of just. But I'm not going to go with one of those like
I can't do that.
No, I would never do that. Well, I can't. I hate to say the word never, but it just that looks just ridiculous.
So I remember. So when I did late night TV, sometimes you'd have a microphone, which I liked, but sometimes you didn't. But I can't remember that I ever actually did. Every time I did television, I had a microphone. I think even when I did the Late Show, I did.
Yeah, me too. They lav you up. But they still give you like the fake mic.
Yeah. You still have something.
Yeah.
I need going out I remember Chris Titus was the first guy I saw do that. I was just like, oh man, that would drive me crazy to just be out there telling jokes with nothing in my hand.
Right.
How do you do it?
At the regular Tonight Show with Johnny Carson, they didn't have them.
Yeah. And then I think Letterman gave you the option, but I never did Letterman, so it hurts my
You
feelings.
never did Letterman?
No, did you do Letterman,
No,
Joe?
I didn't.
Me
but
neither.
You were a big star.
Yeah, okay.
I know why I didn't do Letterman. I thought you were just like, you were like with Jay Leno or whatever, like there was like a war. You couldn't do both, right? Or something like that?
Some people did. I remember Bobby Tessel did it like in the same week almost.
I don't know who. I'm sorry, Mr. Tessel. I'm not familiar.
Anyway, that was like 25, 30 years ago when I first moved out here. Bobby Tessel, all of a sudden he got on Tonight Show, he got on Letter. I was like, holy shit, I couldn't have been more jealous of that guy. I'm like, that motherfucker. Anyway, Joe, I want to
Where is Bobby Tessel right now, right? He's not in trouble.
I think I heard he beat cancer, so that's good.
Oh, well, congratulations.
Everybody check out Joe's special on YouTube. It's free over at All Things Comedy.
All Things Comedy.
Tonight's episode of Killing in Chicago. Go check it out. One of my oldest friends.
YouTube page. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, YouTube.
Yeah.
One of my favorite and funniest guys in comedy, Joe Bartnick. Thanks for stepping on,
Jimmy.
buddy.
It means a lot coming from you. You're the best.
Hey, come see us on tour. We're going to be in Tampa, Boca Raton, Orlando, Dallas, Houston, San Diego, Bloomington, Illinois, Indianapolis, and Levittown, New York. Wow, that's a lot of dates. See you there.